Hi guys, David Texas here, and what you're looking at is the headstock on this fake ES175 that is in the contest. And on this video, I'm going to go over the tells of how to spot it as being a fake, and also tell you who won the contest. Okay? And first of all, I want to thank everyone that entered the contest. I think I had at least 100 entries, and that was very encouraging. And unfortunately, there can be only one winner because there's only one t-shirt. So let me go over these real quick and let you know how you did. Okay? So check your list against what I'm about to give you, right? ES175, right? First things first, at the very top of this, if you'll look real closely as I zoom in, right? Some people spotted the fact that this thing has a very bad lip on where the book binding goes right here, okay? That white binding is done very badly. It's not sharp like it would be on a real Gibson. As well as right below it, there's abalone in the binding, and that's on neither guitar, neither the 175 or the Byrdland, okay? They don't have that. Even though it looks really, beautiful, stunning beautiful, it's not on them, okay? Now, next one, right below it, is this flower pot, okay? And it should have a crown on it to be a Byrdland, but, sorry, to be a 175. See, even I'm confused about this, right? So anyway, it should have a crown on it to be a ES175. But the Byrdland does have the symbol, and it's a pretty darn good copy of it, okay? Next, you should have a multi-ply truss guard cover. This one has just a single ply. Well, actually it's a double ply, but the double ply should be much thicker on the ES175, and on the Byrdland, it should have Byrdland written up on it itself, okay? But that white, you should see that stand out like a knockout, alright? Now, the next thing about it is the nut on this is the shape and size, is the size of a Byrdland. It's 1 9/16. This is a very small and very fast neck on this guitar. And originally it was meant, the 175 was meant to replace the 150, okay, drop the cost of these things. Of course, the new 175s are $4,000, and the Byrdlands are, like $9,000. So go figure that cost savings. Okie dokie. Now, the 175 was smaller than an L5, which it was also supposed to help replace. And it originally came with a carved rosewood bridge and P90s. It was 16 inches wide, which this one is actually 17. This fake is actually 17 inches wide, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Okay? Let's get back to the top again real quick. Now, on both the Byrdland and the 175, there should be split rectangles rather than squares and rectangles on this thing, right? But you can order the brand new Byrdland with the rectangles because it's custom shop now. So the new ones have this, right? Well, I was really trying to show you guys on this by going up and down that neck so often. It was not the little scallop work here at the end of the fretboard like on a Byrdland. But the fact that it's got 22 frets on it, okay? And everybody missed that one. It's got 22 frets. Whereas the Byrdland has 22, but the ES175 has 20 frets. Okay, and we're trying to compare this to the 175. Okie dokie. And once you measure that and add in the frets, the scales change. This is a 25 1/4 scale, and I believe the let's see, the 175 is 24 3/4. This is 25 1/4 scale. This is actually a longer guitar. And as I was telling you guys when I was talking about the tone of this thing, the tone is fantastic, and I really dig it. It's because it is different. It's a bigger scale, right? And let's get down to the body now. Been screwing around the neck enough. Look at this, guys. Look at this body. I'm going to turn it sideways for y'all to look at. That's not a 2 3/4 inch or 3-inch body. That's a 2-inch body. So it's much thinner than the ES 175 and the Byrdland. Okay? And of course, it's got this scalloped tail. It doesn't belong on the ES 175. And it's got the gold screws on it, which don't belong on it. It should be black for a Gibson. It's got the bound pick guard, which is correct, but it should be black for the common one, not reddish or tortoiseshell. Okay, for the really old ones. Again, it's got the binding doesn't belong on it, the abalone, which is beautiful and it's done very well. Thank you very much. And on the 175, that 3-way should be up here on the top of the guitar, not on the Florentine. Okay. And it's missing the disc as well. Alright. Now, next thing about this, again, the pick guard, is that it's the wrong kind of bracket. I've shown you the type of bracket goes on there before. It's one that is adjustable, has a rubber mount on it at the end of it, which goes right here underneath this and supports it. Okay? But does not go through the pick guard itself. Those are meant for the tortoiseshell types that are expensive, right? Something else I wanted to point out to you on the front of this guitar is that, see the wiring that's showing through? Not any Gibson I know of, right? The Gibson ships out has wires sticking out of it. I was pretty clear about that when I was showing that, trying to get somebody to mention that, but no one did. The wires sticking out of it. Let's see what else. Yes, you did spot the wrong type of knobs on it. These are black speed knobs. These should be gold top hats, the old style, with tone and volume on them. Okay. The distance between the pickups is correct, believe it or not. But the type of wood, I'm not really sure. That's not walnut and that's not ebony, so it's wrong for both guitars. It's the wrong height as well, because it raises the height of this guitar way too high, the action. So there'll have to be an adjustment made to this at least, okay, when I replace this with a roller. Now, to the tail, okay. It is a trapeze tail, which handles the job very nicely, as a matter of fact, as compared to a totally fixed tail. Anyway, it's the wrong type of shape to it, which is no big deal, because both ES 175 and the Byrdland came in multiple shapes. I mean, all kinds of shapes. The Steve Howe guitar has a T out of silver in it, or chrome, which is a solid bar here comes up. And the Byrdland has this right here, this little loop 3 times that attached to this part, and Byrdland written across it. Okay? Which would be easy enough to do, to take it to an engraver and have them write Byrdland on it. But I'm not into making, fakes even more fake. I just want to play well. Okay, I don't really much care what they look like that much. Now, take a look at the F-holes, right? On this side, what are you missing? And what do you have that shouldn't be there? Well, on the ES175, this is not bound. These are open, okay? Which, I like them bound better than open, right? They look nicer, okay? Make it harder to replace things in it, but they look a lot nicer. But it's missing, right, that nice old sticker inside that says Gibson. That's why I pointed that thing out to y'all guys. I thought you'd get the hint and say, ooh, it's missing the sticker that says Gibson because it's a fake. Now, I told you about the nut size. Let's see, what else can I tell you? From my list, because I got a list, guys. There's so many things that are different on this. The ES175 was a Steve Howe guitar of Yes, the band Yes, and Keith Richards played one as well. Okay, and Steve Howe has a signature at 175 that's just beautiful. But again, it's selling for around $4,000 or more. Let's turn this thing around. Let's take a look at the back of it. All right, and here's where you find a bunch of glaring problems with this being a Gibson at all. Okay, on their bursts like this, on the carved tops or ESs, you don't see a paint pattern that follows the contour of the guitar. What do you see? You see a teardrop, right? So right about here, you'd see a teardrop, and this would be all darkened out, okay? That's the problem. The paint configuration on this is, it looks okay. It looks like kind of like more of an Epiphone type paint. But for Gibson, that's just all wrong. And again, on the back, you've got that beautiful, but in the wrong place, shouldn't be on either guitar, that abalone binding. Isn't that beautiful? And y'all see it in real life, it just sparkles. Now, next thing you got wrong. A lot of people saw this, which I didn't think they would, but this is the wrong spot. Okay, the strap button should be up here. But the Chinese, knowing that this is a two-piece job, decided to put it here rather than here and chance splitting that wood. Okay? And up the neck is totally wrong for both guitars because it's been painted and stained, that yellowish stain, as well as lines are drawn up, because that's not three pieces of wood, that's just a marker. And painted up here as well to hide the scarf joint. Now on a real Gibson, right, on the back of this guitar, you would see nothing, okay, but wood, right? On both models, you just see the wood itself, not paint, hiding everything, okay? Just the type of wood it was. And there's your scarf joint right here. It's almost impossible to see with this paint, but trust me, in person, you can see it. Now, next thing, you've got fake Grovers on here when you should have some Gibson tulips, the old style tuxedos with the white plastic turning knobs. And next, of course, you've got the serial number, which is the wrong font, wrong size, and it's in white because they blackened this out. Now, this is wood tone, which it should be. This would be in black, all right, different font. It would start about right where the made in is, and the made in would be between these two tuners. Okay, this would all come down. All right, it's just in the wrong spot, guys. What else about the back of this thing? The neck is a wrong shape. It's a fast neck, guys, but it's not the normal Gibson shape. It's one of their better ones that the Chinese make. But it's much thinner, right, in its width, and of course the guitar itself is thinner in its width too. I mean, this thing is only 2 inches compared to 2 3/4 or 3 inches, and that's why I dig this thing, because that sound is sharp, it's crisp, it's like a 335, but then again, it's still got that extra, oomph to it because of that little added little something to it, right? So I really dig it because it's all hollow body, okay? And yes, this thing feeds back like a maniac. Okay? Now, so far, how many of these did you guess? Alright? Did you get them all? Okay. Well, to tell you the truth, only one person got as many as they did. No one got them all. But Terry, buddy, you won the contest. You got more than anyone else by 5. And that's saying something. Alright, you've got an eagle eye, buddy. Okay? And you spotted almost all of them. All of them, but not all of them. No one did. And even I had to go back and do some comparisons, picture to picture, because, I just didn't know. Okay? And what really threw me, of course, was the different styles and custom work that you could get on these guitars, the Byrdland and the 175 from Gibson. Now, this guitar cost me all of $315, right? And I promise you, my very next video on this guitar is going to explain to you and show to you and demonstrate to you why this thing is worth $315 many times over. My seller told me when I bought it, this has Korean pups in it. He thinks, or they're Japanese, one or the other, he said. I think they're the Korean ones from what I could tell. Just taking a sneaky peeky. And the way they sound. Alright, they're full, they're strong, no crackling, no problems with the adjustments. And the wiring in it is, much better than the the old style, very thin throwaway wiring, and the potentiometers are full-size ones. Okay, so that kind of knocked me out because a lot of these ESs, it's very difficult to get those darn pots inside this guitar working through the F-holes, so they'll go to the smaller ones. It makes it much easier, as well as they put them inside a wiring harness, so they're easy just to line up and pull through either the F-stop or F-hole and the puff holes, right? But I've not yet taken this to my cabinet maker, right, that makes my cabinets for my house and does woodwork for us, so I don't know what type of wood it's made out of. I'm pretty sure that's a spruce, and it's laminated, but I want to verify that with him before I just go all out and say that's exactly what it is, because that man knows his woods. Any questions about this or anything else, give me a holler. David, Texas. Bye.